Relationship advice. Updated, my wife 26 asked for an open relationship, I, 27, agreed. Original post. She asked me a few weeks ago if we wanted to open up our relationship, so she could discover her sexuality with other women. I agreed, and told her that if I am free to do whatever I want, I will do it, to which she agreed. We had a few 3-ways and 4-ways that went really well, and we had a lot of fun. Then my interest shifted. I always wanted to try a high-end escort in my teens, but didn't have the money, so I never had a pro. I wanted to have this experience. It isn't something I will do again, and it certainly was a lot of fun. I never had such good action in my life. God, she was good. Then yesterday, my wife said we need to close it again because she is getting uncomfortable and insecure. I said, yes, of course, no problem. Then out of nothing, she asks me to tell her of the experiences I had from this open relationship. I told her everything, because I am an honest man. When I told her about the escort, she totally went nuts. She blamed me that the relationship is going down the drain. I am at loss here. Should I end things? Or try to do marriage therapy together? Now for the top advice before reading the update. This is why I think open relationships should not occur if your relationship is going down the drain. You guys are really young, and I'm sure some couples your age has successfully had an open relationship, but honestly, I don't know how common that is. It doesn't sound like she is very secure after all. I feel they are for 100% secure relationships with 100% secure people. Also, I really hope you didn't tell your wife that the action you paid for was the best you've ever had. I think he did say it was the best, which is why the marriage is going down the drain. Brutal. That's hard to get over for some people. I did not tell her it was the best ever, but the best I had while in the open relationship. I presume it is also because it was an escort. She has something against that profession. 100% she did not think you would be able to get laid. That's why you, buying an escort service, pissed her off extremely. In her eyes, you cheated on the arrangement. Because the arrangement in her eyes was, I will go sleep with other people, and you will go, try to sleep with other people and fail. This is the right answer right here. Something similar happened to an acquaintance of mine, where his wife demanded an open relationship so she could experience other women. She didn't know he was an inexperienced bi guy. So, there he was at 29, a bi guy in a major US coastal city, and he'd never experienced sleeping with a guy. He quickly made up for lost time. About 10 months later, she mentioned to him that she wants to close the relationship. But he wasn't ready yet for that, so he said something to the effect of, not yet, I'm enjoying this. That piqued her interest, and so she started hounding him for details even though they agreed not to talk about details. Eventually she wore him down and he spilled it. She lost her mind. It was a proper train wreck. Sounds like your wife had some action with a man or woman that she wanted to, and then it's over, and now she wants to come back to you, but didn't realize you're actually out there doing the same thing that she was doing. Ding ding ding. OP, this is the right answer. And now for the update. Shortly after I wrote here on Reddit, I had quite a substantial fallout with my then wife. We did not discuss, and more like screamed at each other about the incident. I for one, believe that it was her mistake to even ask for an open marriage without knowing what could be. She blames me for my action of hiring an escort. Of course, as naive as we both were, we did not lay any ground rules, so I did what I thought was okay. In one of these incidents, and that was more than less a month after the text on Reddit, my ex-wife became violent and abusive. She started to hide work stuff and keys, and if we got into an argument, she threw stuff at me. This went on for a while because I believed we could fix it, even though many said it is hardly possible. The big thing was, she had lost her job due to the virus, so she had no money except what she had on the side, which is not much. I considered this next step for what seemed quite a long time, and finally threw her out after she tried to throw a knife at me. I am fine and I did not need medical attention. This was the last straw for me, and I hired an attorney to help me with the divorce process. I was advised for a psychological evaluation of my wife because of her temper, and the video I made when she had one of her outbursts. This was the sole reason why I did not lose a lot in my divorce. I'm not wealthy, but I have quite a sum of money on the side since my grandparents had left me a big part in their will. I wish I could have handled this better, and with marriage counseling, she was a lovely wife for the time we were together, but in the end, jealousy and other things got the best of her. So, It came to be that I am now divorced, sold the house, and now I am free of that woman. I did not like how this had to end, but I now know that I will probably never marry again, and probably won't have an open relationship anytime soon. Unfortunately, my ex-wife had told a lot of my friends about what happened and most have abandoned me. Only a few came to me to hear my side of the story, which is quite unfortunate and was a bit of a stab in the heart. But now I know who I can trust. Sorry that this post is quite a mess. I'm quite drunk right now and should rather have slept than wrote this update. If you have any questions, I will answer them tomorrow morning. Thank you to the ones that gave me great advice. Now for some top comments. Did she never get counseling? She became very unstable and dangerous. Did you get a restraining order against her? Part of her mental problems is probably what led her to want to open the marriage. Anyway, it sounds like you ended up alright in the divorce. Check out Better Bachelor and Donovan Sharp on YouTube, you might find them interesting. Yes, she is now in counseling, but right now, it is a bit difficult because of restrictions. I did get a restraining order against her. Her one friend I maintain contact with, informs me about her stability and if she improves. I do not know what it exactly was, but to me, she never was jealous and aggressive in this way. She was quite confident in life and was always stable without any insecurities. When the marriage is asked to be open, it's almost always over. Congrats on getting a clean divorce. Any friends that abandon you, now you know they can't be trusted. The ones that did reach out, consider showing them the proof you have. Good luck. Thank you. I did, and we are closer as friends than ever. You really should have reported her to the cops after that knife throw. Either way, she's in the past, ignore and move on. I agree, in the aftermath, it would have been the logical choice, but I could not bring myself to report her. I filmed it though, so it was of help. Yeah, now it is waking forward into the free world. Now for the next story. My 27 female, soon-to-be ex-husband, 37 male, forced me into an open marriage, and is now telling everyone I cheated on him. How do I prove my innocence? 2 years ago, my husband asked me if we could open our marriage, married for 3 years, together for 5, when I said I wasn't comfortable with that, he said either we open our marriage, or get a divorce. I didn't want a divorce, so I agreed to an open marriage. The next year was awful. He would flaunt all of the girls he was sleeping with in front of me. He would even bring them to our apartment to sleep with him whilst I was home. He even slept with my now ex-best friend, Jane, and tried to have a three-way with us. When I tried to voice my concerns, he dismissed them and said I had my chance to set rules when we first had the discussion. The only rule we had was, we had to use protection, and I couldn't complain now. After that first year, I ended up confiding in my friend Anna, 27. Anna and I have been friends since high school, but she never liked my husband, so we drifted after I got married. When I told her what was happening, she insisted I go back to work. My husband made me quit my job when we got married, despite the fact I had a higher earning potential than him, and we've struggled with money since. She ended up connecting me with her brother Leo, 30, who is the owner of a company in the field I was planning to pursue my career in. After an informal interview he offered me a job. My husband wasn't happy and kept insisting I quit. He even offered to close our marriage if I would just quit, but I didn't want to be dependent on him again, so I refused. He even threatened divorce, but by this point, I was checked out of the relationship, so I didn't care. About 8 months later, Anna offered to let me move in with her since her roommate was moving out. I took her up on the offer and filed for divorce. Her and Leo helped me move my stuff out when my husband was at work. My husband has now been telling family and friends that I was having an affair with Leo this whole time. I wasn't, but most people believe him. Most of my friends are insisting I go back to my husband, and have made comments about how I was trying to social climb by sleeping with Leo. They have been giving me a lot of lectures about how money isn't everything, and sometimes, you find a good man who loves you and you shouldn't throw him away just because someone else can offer you more material stuff. Jane in particular is very vocal about what a slut I am. Just for context, she used to like Leo back in high school, but he rejected her multiple times, so I think she's being especially vicious because she thinks something is really going on between us. I don't have any written proof about this whole open marriage fiasco, so I can't show them that. Is there any other way I can convince them I wasn't sleeping around? How can I stop letting the rumors he's spreading affect me? Now for the top advice. Look into what is called a smear campaign. Your ex is a narcissist, and this is part of his control and manipulation. Don't engage, and keep your true friends close. They are the ones who matter. I mean, I'm pretty sure the husband's lies will matter too in divorce proceedings, right? She should make sure she has solid footing to say she didn't cheat. Maybe go through all her texts with her husband, to see if there's evidence he was the one fooling around. Cheating won't have much to do with divorce, unless they have a prenup. Wow, leave your husband and all these terrible unsupportive friends behind. Your husband was so abusive and disrespectful towards you, and clearly, none of your friends and family clued in. Time to start fresh with people who understand and believe in you. Life is so much better when you cut out toxic people, and it sounds like you've had a lot of it around you. Good luck. Definitely keep Hannah and Leo around though. They seem like good eggs. Yeah, solid foundation for building a new life. By the way, if they are in an open relationship, who cares if she was sleeping with Leo? Does soon-to-be ex-husband get the same crap for sleeping with Jane? More of a reason to ditch these jabronis. Now for the last story. My wife, 42 female, of 20 years just told me, 44 male, that she is interested in dating and sleeping with other men. We have 7 children together and recently left a horrible religious cult, Mormon. We were both married super young but had to be virgins. She was a huge flirt when I met her, and dated lots of guys, but suppressed her urges to conform to the cult teachings. We love each other a ton, but she feels like she is now free to live a life she lost. She wants to stay married and says I will always be her number one. She says she can't lose me and loves me so much. She told me that a traditional marriage won't work for her anymore, and that she must be freed from any sort of chains. She has been begging for an open marriage, and says if we don't, then she knows she will end up cheating on me. She says she's desperate for relationships and a lay is just a lay, and doesn't mean anything but a good time. She wants to maximize her enjoyment during her one life to live, and feel all the feels. She has given me full permission to sleep with other women, but I don't really care to. I love my wife with my whole soul, and the thought of her being with another man is destroying my heart. Should I just get over this and try to conform to her point of view? If I can't, do I then separate and lose the love of my life? We are both in a no-win situation, as she must live authentically. For now I've told her I cut the chain and freed her, anything else would end in cheating and divorce, but it's honestly the hardest and most painful thing, and I can't come to grips with it. Of course, she is elated. But the thought of her texting other men and setting up rendezvous, is too much to bear right now. I love her so much. Now for the top advice. If you don't want an open marriage, don't have one. Tell her it's not going to happen and prepare for a divorce. I mean, she's told him a closed marriage isn't happening. So, it's one of 3 things: divorce, being cheated on, or accepting the one-sided open marriage. OP, pick your poison. And the risk of STD or pregnancy from another person outside the marriage? No. No, no, no. If you don't want an open marriage, then instead of permission to screw other people, give her divorce papers. She will cheat eventually, and when she does, it will completely destroy everything between you two. Divorce, and try and remember the good times you and her have had. Maybe you and her can be civil towards each other after the divorce. Yeah, honestly, I think she is living in a fantasy. There are going to be some guys who are interested in a no-strings-attached FWB thing with a 40-something mother of 7. But not many, and a lot of them are not going to be upstanding gentlemen. There is the possibility of getting into a swinging community, however decent swingers aren't interested in being homewreckers. You should thank her for her honesty. What she has expressed to you is extremely difficult and scary to navigate. I'm not ex-Mormon, but I understand the layers of nuance behind repressed sexuality. And you should also honor your own needs and your honesty to her, just as she has done for you. It sounds to me like you need to leave this painful situation. And that's it for this video, guys. If you have thoughts to share, leave a comment below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you like this content. I'll catch you in the next one. Good day, everyone.